Guys, hope you're having a great day today. It is Saturday. Happy Saturday morning to you. I hope that your day is going well. Can you hear those wind chimes and that breeze blowing? It always messes up the filming. We'll have to see. We lived in the mountains. You know, the wind blows up there, but I was always able to get away from it. Here, I feel like I can't get away from the breeze. It's beautiful. It doesn't do very good for you guys filming, so I'm going to be hopeful. But we are reading the book of Proverbs 5, the Pitfalls of Immorality. It says, my son, be attentive to my wisdom, godly wisdom, learn by costly experience. Do you ever tell your kids, just learn from my mistakes, learn from my costly experience? Thank goodness for a Bible that says, learn from my costly mistakes, right? Godly wisdom, learn by costly mistakes. Incline your ear to my understanding, that you may exercise discrimination and discretion, which is good judgment. And your lips may reserve knowledge and answer wisely to temptation. For the lips of an immoral woman drip honey like a honeycomb, and her speech is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is bitter like the extract of wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, and her steps take hold of Sheol, the netherworld, the place of the dead, so that she does not think seriously about the paths of life. Her ways are aimless and unstable. You cannot know where her path leads. Now then, my sons, listen to me, and do not depart from or forget the words of my mouth. Let your way in life be far from her, and do not go near the door of her house. Avoid even being near the places of temptation, or you will give your honor to others, and your years to the cruel one. And strangers will be filled with your strength, and your hard-earned wealth will go to the house of a foreigner who does not know God, and you will groan when your life is ending. The Bible talks a lot about being, immoral or staying away from sexual temptation, and it's not just, he's writing to his son here, but it's also for women as well, because we can be tempted to look the immoral way or to step into things that you should not be stepping into. Just you want to stay from that, because it's only going to lead to temptation. So how many marriages have been ruined by immorality, sexual immorality, by doing that, by not paying attention, not focusing on what you're supposed to be focusing on? So stay far, far away. So it says, when your flesh and your body are consumed, it's not just so much as just your marriage being ruined, but destruction in your whole life. So destruction in your whole life. It says, when your flesh and your body are consumed, and you say, how I hated instruction and discipline. I remember saying that. And my heart despised correction and reproof. Nobody likes to be told that they're doing wrong and that they have to do better. Nobody likes that, right? It says, I have not listened to the voice of my teachers, nor have I inclined my ear to those who instructed me. I was almost in total ruin in the midst of the assembly and congregation. Drink water from your own cistern, which is a pure marriage relationship. Stay in your own marriage. Stay in your own cistern, and fresh running water from your own well. Should your springs, your children, be dispersed as streams of water in the streets, that means confine yourself to your own wife. Let your children be yours alone, and not the children of strangers with you. You don't want to have to. I understand situations happen and things happen, and your children will just be with a stranger. It's God has a plan for marriage. He has the perfect plan. Of course, us as humans mess things up and we ruin things, don't we? Yes, we do. And God can redeem things and take care of things, but he's already warning what will happen if you don't just keep getting refreshed from your marriage. It's so important to get refreshed in your marriage over and over and over, because it's so easy to make it go stale. It's so easy to want to go out and find something exciting, or go look over here where we think it's exciting. Go look over here to think the grass is green on the other side. But it says to be refreshed from your own well, because you don't want your children to be with strangers. It says, let your fountain, your wife, be blessed with the rewards of fidelity, and rejoice in the wife of your youth. That's right. Let her be a loving hind and graceful doe. Let her breast refresh and satisfy you at all times. Yes, God cares about sex and all those things. It's all in here. Always be exhilarated and delight in her love. Why should you, my son, be exhilarated with an immoral woman and embrace the bosom of an outsider, a pagan? Why would you be excited? Why is pornography so huge? Why would you be excited over something that's not even real? It's just there. It's just a temptation. You don't want to be excited over that. Once you start getting into those paths of that, you become numb to what God intended. Imagine, people say, oh, you should. I get the whole the culture of we need to date and find all these people and go with different people so I can try out things. I can try out to see how they kiss, try out to see how they're sexual, if we can, are compatible, all those things. But could you imagine a society where we waited for our spouse and we waited for the one and just had sexual relations with just the one and just left everything for the one. And then you learned things together and you grew together. There was never a worry of like any kind of like jealousy because of somebody else. There was never any worry that you weren't good enough. There was never any worry that your body wasn't shaped right because your husband's only looking at eyes for you. And he's never going to feel less of a man because you're not experimenting with others. You're not going out with others. You didn't brag about your other relationships. And I get it. I get it. Our world, mistakes, all those choices, understand all of that. I'm just saying, could you imagine a world like that and how great of a relationship that could be? Not for everybody. No, it's not. But I share that with my kids over and over. And I said, I understand you're going to make choices of what you're going to do in life and who you're going to decide to be with. I said, but could you imagine? I said, I get some things you might look at and go, hand holding. Like if I just wait to marriage, it sounds so old fashioned, right? I said, but could you imagine saying to your wife on her wedding day or to your husband that I waited my entire life to be able to do this with you. I waited my entire life to be able to save this kiss for you. I waited my entire life and held back restraints for my whole body so that you can be the only man that touches it. That's powerful testimony. Powerful testimony. I always tell my kids, I'm like, you're going to make your own decisions. You're going to do whatever you want. I said, but let me give you how that looks, how that is. Because sometimes you hear those things, and they hear those things too, and they think, oh, that sounds so old-fashioned. I said, but think about it. Think, you don't have to fall into the culture that says you got to try everything out before, or you got to try to do all these things. No, think about how that sounds on the other end. There's people out there willing to do it, and I tell them that all the time. I said, there's people out there willing to wait. I said, so are you? Is that something you want to do? And they get to make their own choices on that. Okay, so it says, for the ways of man, this is verse 21, for the ways of man are directly before the eyes of the Lord, and he carefully watches all his paths, all his comings and his goings. The iniquities done by a wicked man will trap him, and he will be held with the cords of his sin. He will die for lack of instruction or discipline, and in the greatness of his foolishness he will go astray and be lost. That is so true. And it's so true. You can talk to anybody that's our age, anybody that's older, you younger ones, talk to the older ones. Even us older ones can learn things from people. Look at the mistakes that people make and what they wish they would have done differently and the things they would have done differently in their life. You don't want to be fools. You don't want to be a fool. You want to follow God. We've made mistakes. We've all made them, me included. The key is like we read this and go, wow, what is it we can teach the next generation? What is it we can do for our future life to be able to protect it, to be able to keep it sanctified, to be able to keep it, lined up and precious and holy, all those good things. It's a great thing in there. Love reading this book of Proverbs. Lots of good wisdom, lots of good knowledge in there. So you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again on Monday with another video. Remember, I've got another channel, your daily Bible chapter. We just read God's words. We just read God's word chapter by chapter. That's it. One chapter a day. Simple, easy, a little bit of talking, not too much. It only takes like 3 to 7 minutes depending on the chapter. Good place to get God's word hidden inside of your heart. So you have a great rest of your day. I will see you again on Monday with another video. All right, we'll see ya. Bye.